What's the cause of failure? It's it's quite the question, and I think it's one that most people are really wanting an answer to. So I'm going to give you an answer today on this one because it's something that I've pondered myself, and it's taken me quite a long time to come to the answer. And I think that this would be insightful for us here today. And let me share this with you. And it's not going to be what you think it is. And I think what we mostly would conclude is that it has to do with not working hard enough. And while the action element must be present in order to have success, I like to start somewhere before that. And it's really putting the the horse in front of the cart in terms of success. And here's what it is. What's the cause of failure? The true cause of failure is how natural it feels for you to have that or be that. Let me repeat that. The true cause of failure is when the state of being, of feeling like that person or that thing that you want or that person you want to be or the success that you're seeking, whether or not that comes natural to you. Let me explain further. Our reactions to life are natural. So this happens, I react in this way. That's natural. I don't need to think about it. It comes from me. And so whenever we are able to have an uncritical observation about our reactions, it allows us to stand not in judgment, but rather in observation about where we are with our level of consciousness. So our reactions are natural. And so how we go about life, what this happens, I react to it. This happens, I react to it. And how we react to life tells us who we really are. Okay, so by virtue of that same law, of that same understanding, then how natural it feels for us to have that thing. Do we really feel like we're deserving of this? Do we really feel like this is a part of me? So let's say you want to accomplish a certain thing and you're an entrepreneur and you want to have a certain sales goal, or whether it's income or sales numbers. It doesn't matter what it is, frankly. And when you think about having that, accomplishing that goal, does it feel natural to you or does it feel unnatural? And you'll know. Think about the goal, visualize it for a second, put yourself there. How does it feel? Does it feel natural? And you might conclude, yeah, this is this is totally it. I feel it. It's done. And so if you feel that it's already done, you can visualize it, you can see yourself with it, and it feels natural, then that is going to be the closest tie to you having the thing you want. Now, the converse is also true, is when you have a goal and the goal is outside of you and it's over there, it's elusive. You put yourself separate from the goal, as we like to say, thinking about the goal rather than from the goal. When you have identified with the goal, you have embodied it as though it's already done. It's done. It feels natural. And when you put yourself separate from it and you think about it, you're thinking about that end state as though it's something that is outside of you and it's not a part of you. You don't have it. It's not done. You see, creation is done. So when something is done, it's already done and you feel it done. And so what happens from there? You then naturally, as a product, as a byproduct of owning that and having it be something that you believe in, you see it and it feels natural for you. Then you're going to take the actions. Here's the action element from that place of feeling like this is already done. You've brought it close to your heart and you feel it. And then you'll take whatever actions are necessary for the attainment of that goal. And those actions should flow naturally from you because of who you are, not because you need to just grit and suffer your way through it. You should feel like you're in a state of flow when you're doing the right thing and you've embodied the goal. Napoleon Hill said, so then the question comes, well, then how do you do that? What's the way of doing that? And by the way, there's a link in this video. Click on that link. Watch my paradigm webinar I did. I talk about this exact thing, and this is exactly at the heart of my coaching program. If you want to know how to grab a goal and bring it right to the center of you, and it doesn't take a long period of time. It doesn't take forever. It doesn't need to, because the element of time is something that we make up. I was talking to a sales guy today, and I asked him what his goal was. And he said he wanted to have a certain success and build a team in 5 years. And I asked him, why 5 years? And he said, well, that's just what I think. I said, you realize that you're making that number up. You've just made that up. Why 5 years? It's so far out. You can't be excited about that. Bring that shit closer to you. Bring it right in and feel what it would feel like to have it now. Create a spiritual prototype, if you will, in your mind's eye. Visualize it and feel the essence of that goal now. It is done. When you put something off for 5 years, you're literally creating that in your imagination because you don't believe it's possible. So 5 years is so far off, then you can give yourself all sorts of time to accomplish that. And because Parkinson's law decrees that the task will expand to fill the time allotted. What does that mean? If you give yourself 5 years, you sure as hell will take 5 years. So remove time from it. Remove time from it. Now we're operating on the plane of the absolute, not the relative. And in the plane of the absolute, time is not a part of that component. So back to Napoleon Hill, the how part. First of all, watch this webinar that's included in this video. Click on that link and watch that. I talk about paradigms, which are those disempowering programs that keep us locked where we are and stuck in our current position. The paradigm wants to keep us boxed in, doesn't want us to grow. It says, stay where you are. It's warm and cozy here. Okay, watch the video. Secondly, Napoleon Hill said that the only known method by which we can induce faith is a deep belief in something, is through the process of autosuggestion. Faith, he goes on to say, is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action. You hear that action component again? To the impulse of thought. What is he saying? That faith, when you have a deep belief system in something, it adds power and life and action, meaning your body will propel into action. Just like I said, you will do the things that are inherent of having that success. And so we're reverse engineering this thing back to the beginning. And autosuggestion is the process by which we can give ourselves messages through affirmations, for example, affirming what we want over and over and over again until such time that this feels natural for me. This thing that I'm seeking, it doesn't feel outside of me. How did I do that? I program myself to feel it as it's done right now. And by the way, our subconscious minds do not know the difference, cannot recognize the difference. It just takes orders. Can't tell the difference between imagined reality and reality. And so you give yourself a message over and over again, an affirmation with deep emotion and constant spaced repetition. That's when you'll notice change in your life. And that's when that goal becomes natural to you. If you want to know more about how to use autosuggestion to not only break down disempowering paradigms, but forge after your big, most elusive goals, remove time from the equation. That's all made up. We made that up with our brains. We use our imagination to think up crap that doesn't help us. We got to stop that and go for it and bring it closer to you. So if you want to know more about that, click on the link and watch the webinar. And hopefully this has served you today. We'll see you soon.